This video is about teachers, parents, but most importantly about students. Today is going to be a day when you will tell yourself, if only I knew this before, my life would have looked completely different. I would know more, I would achieve more, I would learn less, I would stress less. I would have reached a life where I don't have to work under any dreadful boss, but rather be happy. If only I could know about learning process a long time ago what I have learned today. Now, wouldn't that be beautiful? To turn back the time and relive our life knowing what we know now? But life is different. We learn as we go, and many times it's really tough. Frustration is crushing every person who struggles with learning, even though it doesn't have to be that way. However, from this day, everything is going to change, because I will reveal to you 3 new learning tools that will 10x your learning ability and change the worldwide education as we know it. This video is about teachers, parents, but most importantly about students. About students who are failing in school and students who are doing well but want to do better in school and then in life. I don't know whether you are a teacher, student, mother, father or grandparent. But what I can tell is that you are looking for an answer to the question, why do students fail in school? How is it possible that one child is getting great evaluation while the other is struggling, shaking before the class, dragging from the year to year until finally he or she hates the school to the bones? Why it isn't all easier? Why the child has to suffer? Why is that Byzantine learning process so hard to carry on? Why do have children to struggle in the school? Is the road to the success in the school designed only for gifted? If you now think that it's a question of what is in your head, what you are born with, that is your intelligence, then I am probably going to disappoint you a little. Also, if you think that success to the school doesn't matter because there are stupid people who have achieved success in the world without being successful in the school, then I am going to disappoint you as well. Why? Because the reason for their success is neither how motivated they are, nor what kind of connections they have, a rich family, or how high their intelligence quotient is. It's true that intelligence, a good family background, or good motivation are like a big engine that can often pull you out of a difficult situation in life, but when the crucial moment comes and you don't know how to use them properly, they are of no use to you, because neither your parents' money nor straight A's from geometry are as important as the thing that we will talk about today. Nothing will take you further than this ability. If you happen to not have a rich father, extremely high IQ, or a family that is supporting you all the time, then this video is just as important for you. If by chance you are no longer a child but a parent or a teacher, it is great that you are here today and watching this video, because today I will tell you what is the main reason why students are performing in school poorly and what must be done to change that. We will look together at various reasons for the failing at school, how they relate to the real-life situations, and how you can help yourself or anybody else and improve the results in school in a very simple way. What will this video not be about? It won't be about motivation or supernatural forces. We will talk solely about real solutions. We will talk about what we must do in order to make things work, because there is nothing more desperate than waiting for non-existent power or supernatural miracles being and relying on a miracle. That is what others do. Others are telling a drowning child who does not know how to swim to give its best and believe. this will never work. Just like blind positive thinking. A blind positive thinking is a belief in supernatural powers. Reasonable positive thinking, on the other hand, is a belief in yourself, based on the fact that first, you have the correct tools in your own hands or head, and second, that you know how to use them in a correct situation. Yes, I am still speaking about learning and getting better grades. Just imagine how wonderful it would have been having that kind of tools and that kind of ability. Well, you don't have to imagine anymore because I developed such tools. Today I will show you how they look like and how they work. They are so simple that even a child can work with them. Yes, it is because these tools were developed with children. So the only thing I want from you now is to call your classmates if you are a student. Call your friends among parents if you are a mother or father of a child who could use that kind of advantage, or call your colleagues if you are a teacher. Tell them that today's video will change their lives forever. Then, find yourself a comfortable and quiet place because we are going to start in 2 minutes. At this moment, more people are joining this broadcast. The invitation link to this video is in the description below. Just copy it and send it to your friends in a message. And I see you in 2 minutes. Welcome. You are here because you ask, why are children failing in school and then consequently in life? You are not just curious why it's like that. You are also interested how can it be changed. I'll be honest with you right in the beginning of this video, that this video is not about motivation. This video is about real tools for real life. Together, we will look at things that can be changed in the learning process in order to get better results, and all that in a simple way. Failing in school and then later in life is a serious problem. It would be foolish to leave it to a chance. Motivation is great, but it's like leaving everything to coincidence. Believe me, luck is the last thing you want to rely on. To better understand what I am talking about, let us look at following and a real situation why motivation alone does not work. Imagine that you are driving a car on a lovely day. Everything should go well, but suddenly you get a flat tire. Not one person told you how to get out of this situation before because there was never need for that. However, it has happened today and any help is miles away. You are a positive person, what is great. You know that you need to motivate yourself to think positively and everything should go back where it was only short time ago. However, the reality is much different. You can stay in your seat and say motivational phrases like, "I can handle it. Today is a great day. Everything will be alright." You can easily repeat them for hours, days, weeks, months or years. Nothing will change. Nothing is going to help you out of this situation except getting your bottom up, opening the boot of the car, and simply changing the wheel yourself. The problem can arise if no one has taught you how to do it correctly, or even if you don't have the necessary tools to get out of your unexpected, unwanted, and undesired situation. For this reason, the motivation does not work, or if even a little, it's only temporary. Motivation is a false soothing, false hope, and never attainable mirage. But what does changing the tire have to do with success in school? Much more than you think. Well, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Mario Becchi and I help people from different parts of the world achieve better results in sport, learning and life. Most of my clients are professional as well as amateur athletes who want to perform better. They are people from places such as Australia, France, Sweden, Austria, Great Britain, Italy, the United States, or even South Korea. So my services are used by people who want to be successful. People from Sydney, London, Marbella, San Diego, or Los Angeles. They are reaching to me because I have created a series of simple mental exercises with which they can adjust their results to their expectations, age, and abilities in a very short time. I became friends with many of my clients and even started working with some of them. Together, we are creating new tools because they found my system compatible also with other of their activities. Such an example is the Slovak teacher Tomáš Krištof. Tomáš is incredibly active example of parent who, in addition to his regular teaching job, is also showing kids to play tennis and golf. Together, we adjusted my mental training for tennis players. Similarly, I also collaborate with the English performance psychologist Lyle Kirkham, with whom we are adjusting my mental training for cricket players. However, before I started working for athletes from different parts of the world, I worked with ordinary children as a psychologist. Everything I will speak about today has close connection to them, as they uncovered for me so many useful theories that have direct application in a real life. I might be a psychologist, but I am no more special than you. I was a student like you. I had A's, B's, C's, or worse. As much as I excelled, I also failed and struggled many times in the school. But it was the countless hours spent diagnosing, interviewing, observing and comparing the results of the children I work with that led me to an astounding solution that is now used by people all over this beautiful planet. The system I developed is becoming more and more popular because it works. It works because it's simple and delivers quick results. Today I will tell you why some things in the learning process don't work out the way you want. And I also tell you how it's possible to change your approach even if you are not the smartest, fastest, or richest kid in the classroom. It's all possible. It is, however, necessary to follow certain system. Of course, everything is easier with a supportive family background. However, don't worry. It is your decision to use your skills in the right direction, but you must have tools that will help you in this mission. Today, I will show you tools with which you can do incredible things. You already have one of them, and it's the most important tool of them all. You always had it. As a matter of fact, you have it right now. I will show you how you can start using it much more effectively than ever before. I will show you how you can surprise not only your teachers at school, but more importantly, yourself. I will show you how you can gradually go in your evaluation from D's to C's, from C's to B's, and from B's to A's. Later, you will learn not only how to apply this wise strategy in the school, but also in your life. That most important tool for success that you already have is your brain. The center of mental processes, the center of your thinking, decision making, goal achieving, and other wonderful things. It is true that not all of us are equipped with the same intelligence. There are people who learn more easily at school, but there are also people who think rather slowly. We can't increase our IQ number with push of a button yet. However, there are tricks that we can use to help our head use its potential better and think more effectively. And yes, they are really very simple. Let's be honest. How many times have you said to yourself, "Wow, how smart I am to figure this out on my own," or "Wow, I came to this idea by myself"? On the other hand, there are also people who say to themselves, and even more than necessary, the complete opposite, despite no valid reason. I'll explain how it affects our results in a moment. Pause for a moment, because this is extremely important, and only then make the next step. Before you want to talk about whether you can't do something, you should really check if you are right. Ask yourself if it isn't your lack of healthy self-confidence that is behind your failure so far. As a first step, you must know yourself. It's very easy, and in majority of a modern world, even free. Let yourself be evaluated by a certified psychological institution. Ask for general diagnostic of your emotions and intelligence. You need to have your intelligence and your emotions be measured. This way you will know for certain how much power your brain has. Not only that, you will learn how much power every specific part of your brain has. Without a confirmation that you are not that smart, it will be really silly to put yourself down. Just imagine that you are a race car, but your confidence is so low that you convince yourself that you are just a cheap basic model. You might have much more power under your bonnet than you think. Wouldn't it be a shame to miss all your chances in life because of this mistaken belief? If you are a parent, do that for your child. Find out what possibilities your child has and what are your child's weaknesses. It brings incredible benefits. The results will tell you on what you can work on, and at the same time you will learn which of your child's strengths you can rely on. If you are a racing car, it will probably be more difficult for you to apply yourself off-road. If you are a two-seater convertible, you are probably made for fun-filled summer road trips and not for cargo hauling. Dare to know yourself. As 20 BC wrote ancient Roman poet Horace, life might look rough and many times unfortunate for many of us, but often happens that incredible number of chances in life are wasted just because you don't know what you are capable of or where are your limitations. Too many chances pass by just because of the fact that you didn't know whether you are worth fighting for them. We have something serious to ask. Are my chances versus my abilities balanced? That is a question. This is one of the reasons why the child isn't achieving better grades in school. At the same time, being psychologically evaluated and knowing my own capabilities is also the first stage towards being one step ahead of the others. Much more important, however, is the realization that you don't actually need others to be better. What you really want to is to become better than you were before. This journey always begins with the first step, but you must start now, and every day from this moment you will get one step closer to your goals. Oh, here's the problem. You have no goals. You don't even know what you want. That is a serious problem. This is actually the biggest problem that children have to overcome. You must have heard someone already say this, but I don't know what I really want. It's quite possible that you even said it to yourself. It's no secret that almost every adult fails miserably at this one. We, the adults, are terrible in this area, but is it really our fault? Well, yes and no. It's because many times we don't know what we really should or could want. It's because no one explained it to us. We, the adults, are failing on what to really expect from our children. Therefore, we are leaving everything on luck. We'll survive somehow, and so might also our child. We throw the child into the sea and it's expected somehow learn to stay afloat on its own. When I worked directly with children in diagnostic center, my work was primarily doing complete psychological diagnostics. This means that together we got to know their possibilities, strengths and weaknesses. In this way, we took the first step that I was just talking about. In terms of an example of child thrown into the sea, we found out how strong the child's legs, arms and lungs are. We have to find out if he or she would even have a chance to survive in that sea. The good news is that most people should be able to survive in a sea of life without bigger problems. But despite this, many people struggle in real life. They battle with demands at work, they are unable to find a partner, they are failing on keeping good relations with their family, and it all started a long time ago in school. School is like a rough sea. Each new request is a wave that shakes you, that splashes water in your face, and as soon as you wipe out your eyes, splash, another wave comes, another new request, another, at this time, even bigger wave. It doesn't get easier over time, but rather downhill. It was heartbreaking to see child after a child fail, struggle and deteriorate despite the fact that I was trained not to be emotionally attached to the process of psychological diagnostics. Some did say it's just a client. Well, for me it wasn't just a client but a human being whose life is at stake. This process repeated itself as these children were coming with terrible experiences and even more terrible future. I had to do something. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to diagnose both slower but also more successful children. By consulting the result with each child, we learned a lot more together. I gradually wrote down findings about their families, backgrounds, type of upbringing, social environment, their dreams and their ambitions. What I found out was incredibly shocking. It was shocking especially because their problems were simple and easy to fix. The child's success did not matter if the child was loved or pushed aside. It didn't even matter if it was rich or poor. To my amazement, I met children who had higher intelligence and struggled in school, as well as children who were slower in results, but managed their school requirements more easily. What could it be? I asked myself. What's the reason? What is behind this? With the children who had difficult time at school, I gradually wrote down the conditions under which they managed to cope with demands of the school. Subsequently, I compared these requirements with children who had problems at school. More successful children mastered these requirements brilliantly. In fact, those points Those reasons of failure with which weaker children struggled were often not taken into account at all by successful children, as these reasons for successful people wouldn't even exist. As I said in the first part of this video, the first reason why a child does not get better grades in school is because that the child does not know his or her options. I have to emphasize to you that it doesn't matter whether you are a child or a parent. School grades are not an indicator of your abilities. School grades simply talk about your ability of understanding and learning the theory required by a school subject or class and its repetition in a group or independent test. I completely understand your frustration when you don't do well in school. This is one of the reasons why some parents believe that school is useless and that what you will accomplish in life is more important. And many times it's so obvious. The truth is that the job you will one day make a living from has the similar form of requirements just like a school curriculum. As it is important to learn a sequence in programming, fixing teeth, or building a house, it is also important to learn the grammar, the multiplication tables, or basic chemistry the right way. If for no other reason than at least to find out if your boss isn't lying you about your salary, or if you will be the boss, if you are not paying your employees more than they deserve. Thus, the first reason a child fails in the school is that it isn't aware of its capabilities. The second reason why a child isn't getting good grades in school is that it simply does not know how to learn. Let me clarify that by going back to a drowning example. A child is thrown into a stormy sea. Although it knows that it has the prerequisites to learn to swim because it has the body with arms and legs and because this body generally falls on the water, nonetheless, this is the problem. No one had ever told him or her that the water would drag him or her to the bottom if he or she won't wave his limbs. Even worse, no person showed the child before how to wave his limbs in a certain way in order to swim and not to get drowned to the bottom of the sea. The school throws the curriculum at the child like the waves of the sea. Usually, the children somehow find their own way to fight through all those demands. But no one tells them how to learn properly. No one shows them how to learn in a short and effective way, so that they have more time for leisure and friends. As I was working with children, and especially with children who had issues controlling their behavior, it allowed me to sort out ways in learning that would make their learning process easier for them. In this way, it would be possible to learn much more in much less time. I tried these new ways, even though they weren't new, but rather overlooked. But what was more important for me personally was that children using my system not only executed the curriculum more easily than the others, but also that they found a way to adapt the curriculum to themselves and use it in their lives. Thus, the third reason for failure in school and later in life is the inability to adapt the learning to new things for oneself. Here you could see a beautiful difference between so-called nerds and the ordinary students who are just using a correct system of learning. The last thing you want in school is to be caught off guard. Whether you are a child or an adult, you always want to be in control of the situation. Feeling in control removes the tension and brings relaxed status. In this way, you know that whatever situation comes up, you believe in yourself that you can handle it. And that is to say, not by overconfidence, but by healthy confidence gained with correct learning method. The children who started using my method and who gained the control over their performance comparatively achieved better results under almost all circumstances. This is that crucial moment when you stop leaving your performance to chance and you learn how to achieve emotional control in every situation. If this is a system, it must be complicated, right? Well, this isn't that case. I was able to stumble upon a very exceptional discovery where by applying specific steps, a child is able to learn how to control whole learning process, adjust it to itself, and use it not only in the school but consequently transform it into a life skill and thus make its life easier and happier. And that's what real life is about. Being responsible, purposeful, and yet finding a joy in it. So, let's sum it up. What should you do in order to achieve better grades in school? What should you do so you not fail in school and then consequently in life? First of all, know your possibilities, know your weaknesses as well as your strengths. Secondly, it is essential for you to know to learn effectively. It means absorbing information in a smart way and in a relatively shorter time than usual. Thirdly, it is incredibly important for you being able to do more than just memorize. You as a student must learn to adapt learning to yourself. The question is how to do it. Understand and accept that we are different from each other. We have different needs and expectations and skills, dreams and goals, and so are you. This is what I did with my group of young clients. By having a diverse group of children, I was able to eliminate the unnecessary and keep only the simple and functional. It will certainly sound surprising, but children who had problems in school were basically more intelligent than children who did well in school. But what was the essential indicator that divided them into children with problems and successful children? What was the factor that split their paths for their future? For some, it's an innate ability, but this ability can be also learned in a simple way with a use of specific psychological techniques. Children who faced problems at school on a daily basis often could not cope with the pressure that the environment puts on them. This is the fourth reason why a child does not achieve better grades in school. This is also the most important thing that must be mastered in order to overcome emotionally tense challenges, like school exams, relationships with parents, siblings, teachers, or even partners later on. What has this to do with you? The moment you start to feel the pressure of emotionally charged situation in such a way that you cannot handle it, everything what have you learned so far will disappear in favor of your instincts. Thoughts mix with each other and you feel like your head is spinning. You don't know how to calm down, and that prevents you from remembering a lot from material that you learned. And it's even much stronger the more you try to stop it in an incorrect way. The pressure rises and your nerves are about to explode. What makes it even harder is that it happens repeatedly and you know in advance that in some situations will come a moment when you will emotionally break and fail again. This is the sour reality of many children who are facing these kinds of situations in the school. First is subtle. Then it evolves into unbearable moments and then someday they resign. They accept their inability as a scarlet letter of an underachiever and loser. I bet that you personally know at least one person like in this example. Did you experience that kind of emotional turmoil yourself in the school at least once? There are children or even adults who fail every single day, despite the fact that they shouldn't, as they are born as smart individuals. There is a child, or maybe even it's you, who has potential and yet it's so hard to get over some obstacles. There is a child in every classroom, and maybe even it's you who is fighting for survival among your classmates. The pressure is high, it's hidden in your head, and you can't control it just because no one showed you how to do it correctly. If only you knew how to escape or maybe even conquer this emotional burden. My young clients were incredibly troubled to such extent that they started to hate the school and avoided learning like hell. Despite their often higher than average intelligence, they regularly failed in school, and this did not change, even with the motivational formulas that they found on the internet. Nothing changed until I taught them how to handle it, for example with simple relaxation techniques. In this way, they were able to calm down within few seconds and getting rid of the pressure that was limiting them so much. The pressure came almost immediately, and that was just one of many parts of my method. The thing is, this isn't just a problem with the kids whom I work with. Such problems are common for every child at every school, public or boarding school. I am here and I know how to solve this issue. The good news is that any child can learn such simple relaxation tricks playfully. Some are even imperceptible and their effect is visible or rather felt within seconds because no one will ever see what secret weapon the child has just started using. Yes, it literally means that from the moment the teacher calls you to the board, you can calm down and present your answer like a professional. We already know some of the main reasons why a child fails at school. What we are going to do about it? My job was to diagnose, observe, interview the children and then send them back home, back to their problems. According to my job description, there was nothing I could do about it, and so did my actual and previous colleagues for decades. I was meant to be just like a lifeguard who spotted drowning person, wrote this into a logbook and then continue observing other people as nothing has ever happened. The child was sent back to the same environment with empty hands, or in this case, empty head. And it would just struggle again and again until he or she collapsed. Because everything was left for the mercy of coincidence. That is the reason why I created a list of everything I learned from university, where we discussed countless psychological experiments. I figured that if I combine certain approaches from scientific psychology, I could potentially help children manage the demands of school in an easier way, so I did, and it worked flawlessly. No wonder. Psychology as science is amazing, even though it's hard to understand when it's not speaking in a common language. That's why I transcribed those methods into a language that even children can understand. Those children who tried this simple system showed positive results in a very short time. A very similar system is now used by my sport clients from different corners of the world. My system works not only because it's simple, it works mainly because it solves a person's problematic situation. I am not holding client's hand and walking him through the years of therapy. That person, that individual, man, woman, child, simply goes through certain instructions and he or she applies it directly in own life. It means exactly what you think. You too can achieve better grades in school. Child learns why he or she is struggling and what can be done to make it work in own way. This method works as well as with kids who are struggling but also good students who want to do better. This method shows how to change your thinking and actions so that you can learn more smart things in less time. Let me show you something interesting. This is how the head of not only adult but especially child looks like. Imagine that your head is like your new room. In the beginning, you have empty shelves, a clean carpet, a made bed, in other words, the order. Each new thought, is like a thing that you add to it. As a kindergartner, you begin to fill your head with more experiences, knowledge, memories, and demands from parents and teachers. The school will surprise you with even more things, and it's harder to keep track about every single item. The old things in the room are gradually being pushed away to make more room for new things. Your head is filled with thoughts, notes, new words, homework, and for the first time in your life, other people's evaluations. This time, these evaluations literally have a real image in the form of grades. As you can see, your room, that is, your head, is more and more confused. After some time, one sock found itself among the books on the shelf. The other is under the desk. Pens are hanging on the door. The ground is full of toys that you haven't played with in years. But every day you are tired of cleaning it all up, and the day is already late. That's why you are leaving everything for another tomorrow. It's a real mess, and that's why you start avoiding your room. But you yourself know that this cannot be done forever, and one day you will have to put your head in order. What we just saw is the extreme version of what could happen in head of any child. Usually, when the child is guided by a responsible adult, everything is going relatively well. Therefore, every child needs a supervision. Adult is a beacon that shows to young lady or to young gentleman the right way. However, it often happens that the adult himself does not know how to help own child. Fortunately, there is a solution to this problem. My young clients had a big mess in their rooms, that is, in their heads. Usually, the normal children are much better off. Therefore, it is easier to put their heads in order before they might slip and start to fail. The most important tool that a young person needs is already in his or her possession. It is the brain. My clients are using specific instructions on how to use it in more precise way. These are 3 very effective tools with which the child can clean own head and manage every single part step by step. First, I showed the child what its room looks like. It will learn what the shelves are for and what the cupboards are for. It will see how wonderful it is to rest on the clean bed and how ordinary hangers make life easier. It will get to know the ingenuity and functions of various drawers as well as the usefulness of work table and the ergonomic chair. The child will see how it can move the furniture to suit its personal needs. I will even show the child how it can paint every single part of its room with own favorite colors. My method is fully customizable to child's age, abilities and expectations. As the next step, we will look together at different ways of cleaning the room. The child will learn with what part of his room it should start. The child learns to do it all this step by step gradually. The best part is that if a child learns to put his head in order in a smart way, it will continue to do it automatically every single day. In this way, it is very likely that its head will never be scattered again, and that the only thing that will be enough will be occasional recheck. This order in his head brings relief from pressure and peace for the mental processes. The thing is that the motivation is not enough to improve the current conditions. It is also not enough to use an ordinary diary. That would be just like a new furniture which may give pleasure, but this pleasure is nothing but temporary painkiller. I was and I am still very lucky to have extraordinary clients who taught me a lot. This is how we were able to come up with solutions to these difficult problems together, which now help not only in learning, but also in sport. Our head needs an easy way to put things in order in it in the fastest possible time, so we can devote ourselves fully to the things we really enjoy. These are the 3 magic potions, or should I rather say methods, that I create with my clients that they now use every day. They either have them in their pocket or in the school bag. Fortunately, the system they carrying with themselves is simple and can be mastered very quickly. The first and the most powerful helper is this practical guide. It's called Educatia, Think and Learn the Easy Way. It provides simple solutions and it provides them very quickly. We are not the same. Each of us is different. That's why there are up to 6 different ways to find what the child needs in a specific moment. For example, I personally remember pictures more than words, so the last page of this pocket guide is perfect for me. There are pictures with page numbers on it. In this way, the child can find what it needs very quickly. In this pocket guide you will find topics such relaxing before learning, effective preparation for tests, or re-evaluating the approach, advanced preparation techniques, strategies for focusing on achieving a predetermined goal, and many others. As you see, it is a pocket guide and not a thick book from Jurassic era. The information in it is condensed and simplified. Children are using them just to be reminded rather than to be strictly guided. This is that sophisticated secret sauce that creates miraculous results. I could easily stop and let it be here because this pocket guide works. But I wanted to do more for my clients. I wanted them to see their everyday progress towards better outcome. It's also an amazing way for parents to see how their child is doing. Therefore, I created Leo, Learning Organizer. Let me clarify that both of these tools are at this time not available as mobile applications. It is because I am a strong believer in books, as they are not getting distracted by notifications, but you rather focus on what needs to be done. The second powerful tool is Leo Learning Organizer. I bet that you are familiar with following situation. You plan to learn a lot, even studied a lot, but despite your effort to do everything as planned, many times you didn't execute this strategy for 100%. Commonly available organizers are built mainly for adults and their work tasks. The usual school organizers are, on the other hand, very vague and incomplete. Leo Learning Organizer is unlike anything you've seen before. I really wish I would have the time machine now, the DMC DeLorean with flux capacitor and Mr. Fusion to go back in time and give it to my younger self, to use it every day, because Leo Learning Organizer offers me more than a plan. Motivational quotes will boost me right in the morning. I will remind myself on what is my big goal, and I will also set up my goals for today. From now on, I will have my tests and exams under control because I am the manager of my testing schedule. I know that fortune favors not only the bold, but first of all, those who are prepared. Therefore, I'll prepare things I need in advance to make my day a successful one. Learning Organizer will also remind me about a list of people I want to meet, along with description of subjects of our meetings. It is told that if we want to get close to our goals, we must overcome at least one fear a day. My mentor is the right person who will help me to meet these challenges. Do I know what I need to do to make this day great? Absolutely yes, and Leo will help me to create a 100% successful strategy. Wise words on every page will encourage me in following my dreams. After a day in the school, I will remind me about all my successes and incredible ideas I had today. Preparation, the learning plan, is here to organize my thoughts and save my precious time for me to relax and have more fun afterwards. If I spend first half from day's 24-hour cycle on recuperating the energy with sleeping, eating, relaxing, etc., I can use the other half for efficient work. The efficiency of my 12-hour cycle is remarkable. I work very hard on achieving my dreams and goals, but I will focus even more and do whatever it takes to reach unreachable. I am dividing my day into several smaller challenges that are easier to handle, and this creates for me more opportunities to achieve the moment of success. I can't wait to do my day's evaluation in the evening because I'll give myself a reward for meeting all my objectives. I am effective and persistent hard worker, therefore it's easier for me to sum up everything I'm grateful for. The experiences, the accomplishments, and meetings with new people are helping me to be closer to my dreams. It's always wise to remind me on what I learned today because it will show me how good I am prepared for the next amazing day. Leo, Learning Organizer, is a fantastic companion. It's giving me the helping hand to plan a road to my goals in every detail. I understand my possibilities, therefore I recognize my strengths and use them to reach my full potential. My mind is free because I have under control not only myself but also the things I need for today in my school bag. I am focusing on what I want to achieve and choosing the correct strategies for reaching the goals. It's a pleasure to watch my evaluation and improvement. However, this is just the beginning. There is more to come and I can't wait to reach after everything I desire. Now I believe. Now I know that I can take this unbelievable chance with both of my hands and use all my full potential. The third helper is something I will talk about in the next video. It's the biggest online learning community of students of schools that are using these two little but powerful helpers. It's a free group where we are going even further and discuss additional tips and tricks for smart learning like never seen before. Contact me directly to find out more about the pocket guide Educatia, Think and Learn the Easy Way. Leo, the Learning Organizer, and Educatia Global Learning Community. Go to the Facebook page www.facebook.com/Educatia or directly to my website mariobecki.com/Educatia, where you will find everything you must to know. These are the brand new tools for the first time available to schools around the world. So far, they were used only experimentally with my individual clients, young and adult. If you don't want to be left behind, you must grab this chance, invite your friends, colleagues, children, so more and more people start to use this amazing system that you won't find anywhere else. When you visit my website, you will find a quick 1-minute test that will help you analyze your potential, and it will send you your results immediately. I hope that this video answered your question, why does a child fail in school and how it can be changed? For those of you who want to see a positive change in your thinking quickly and with a lasting effect, visit the Educatia. Below this video you will find the links that will take you directly to already mentioned websites. Share and recommend this video to your friends, acquaintances or colleagues. My name is Mario Becki and you can find all the necessary information on the page with my name www.mariobecki.com. Thank you for your time, have a nice day and we will see you soon. Ciao!